ask you, my sister, will you go to Afghanistan to invest today? That is a powerful question. You don't need to. Nobody tells you. Nobody. Let me tell you why countries have embassies everywhere in the world. The United States Embassy in Nigeria is the only credible entity an investor in the US will listen to come to Nigeria. Not Peter Obi or anybody going there and preaching. The reason why we set up country-state embassies in a country is to study the situation of that country. So the British High Commission gives the British people, including their businesses, I've been part of it because I lived in the Britain. They give them the feedback whether to come or not. And I can tell you, if you go and read their report, you are now second or third most terrorized country in the world. You are now, in terms of drug prevalence, you are now number 1. So nobody is going to go to a war. The person has to be alive to enjoy the return on his investment. So nobody is going to go with you and everything. Intel is just investing $7 billion in Malaysia. I haven't heard the president of Malaysia going anywhere to talk about that. He's in Malaysia. The investors' money go is like a bee. If you put honey here, the bees will come. How they will penetrate through this door, you won't even know. You need to put things in order. We need to sit down and do our work here and do the proper things. The things we can do to stimulate the economy. For example, we just sold 5G auction and we have made $550 million. Let that money be properly invested today in creating maybe a tech innovation or, supporting STEM courses that will help to grow the country in the future. We have a pool of young, energetic, talented young men. Today, India, all Asian countries, outsourcing is becoming expensive. So they are looking for where to go. Let's put that money into what can help us. If we do it properly, we could be creating Facebook and companies like that in the future. Today, our entire stock market is valued at $45 billion. Facebook valuation is $900 billion. So we're not even 5% of Facebook alone. And we have so many people who can create such companies there. But by the time you know it now, they tell they use the money to pay judgment debt. What type of thing is this? Is what I'm saying. Let us do the proper things other people are doing. Okay. It's very easy.
Okay, let's talk about debt. With this budget of 16 trillion proposed budget, we're going to take another 6 trillion deficit on top of what we have before. The debt stock has grown to about 38 trillion now, and we are still going to add more to it. Increasingly, the argument is we don't have a debt problem, we have a revenue problem. But debt to service ratio at some point was over 90% in this country. Is it that we need to rethink debt? What is happening with debt?
The reason why we have a problem with debt, I've said over debt, I started talking about debt since 2017. If you look at my lecture in platform in May 1, there's nothing wrong with borrowing. I'm a businessman. I've lived all my life by borrowing. You can't go wrong because you don't print, money is not planted in trees. Even this business you are is done by borrowing. But if you borrow for investment, it is good. If you borrow for consumption, it is bad. The reason why debt in Nigeria is having a problem is that we're borrowing for consumption. So you're throwing in debt away and everything. And I give you an example. If you go and survey, forget them, Western world, if you survey all the countries in Africa, the major 10 economies, over the past 7 years, Nigeria has borrowed the most, over 300% of our initial debt. We're about $18, $20 billion before. We're hitting 100 now. And this is the one that is, quote, official. If you put other ones that CBN is supporting, it would actually be hitting about 60-something. 50-something to 60 trillion. But these debts have not been properly invested. That is the problem.